the Wyclef story that nobody will know until I tell you, because I had a record deal before the Fugees. It was like a singles deal for something, right? So what happened was, there was a small label called Big Beat Records. And Big Beat Records was producing house music. And one of my men was like, look, there's this producer, we was telling him about you, and you might get a shot to be on his album with Big Beat Records. I remember this clearly. We take the train, we go to New York, and he says, this the kid, he says, this the kid I'm telling you about. This kid can write on the spot. He's selling me to the guy. And I go ahead, I said, play the track, man. He plays the track. I listen to the track. I said, all right, I got something, throw me in the booth. I go in the booth. I was so happy that day, because that's the day they freed Nelson Mandela. So I'm in the booth, I'm like, and see how my consciousness, I'm always conscious, even though I'm a street kid, I'm a history kid. That's what I was saying. The street is not a terminology to say you're a bad person. It just means that, you know, you grew up a certain way. And I get in the booth and I'm like, out of the jungle, here we go, way-oh, way-oh. Out of the jungle, here we go. And I'm doing this crazy African chant over this beat. And in the song, I'm talking about, you'll hear a line. And I said, they just freed Mandela. And so now I do it, I get a little change for it, you feel me? And I leave. Now, what's interesting about this for music heads is that, so today we have all of the DJs, right? And then the DJs are actually, I call them the new, they've replaced the rock and roll bands. Like, you know, their production is like the old school 80s productions, like when we used to see the rock, you know, so the DJs though, when they're doing their albums, right, they would use vocalists. So, but when you would see an Avicii album, for example, like it wouldn't say, it would rarely say featuring, so, like it would say, but the marketing for the album is like Avicii, you know what I'm saying to you? So, or different DJs. And then, you know, the vocalist would get credit, but it's not really about the vocalist, but it's about the mastermind of the DJ producing the record. Because the DJs are producers too. This is the other part people's missing. So they're producing these records. So the other guy was a DJ who did my record. So I guess when I left the studio, dudes was like putting the record out. They was like, yo, whoa, who was that guy? What was his name, right? Because now my man leave. And this story's so funny because I'm going to send y'all to the record afterwards and y'all going to die laughing. Say, yo, what was his name? We don't know, man. Where he from? We think he from Africa. Because he sound like he African. All right, cool, man. Let's just call him Africali then. Yo, dude, y'all can go right now, search up Africali, out of the jungle. You will hear Wyclef vocals with a name that someone gave me that's not my name. So,
and that's just you freestyling that one day.
Freestyling that one day. So years later, I was in the studio with Gorgon City, a band, a crew out of the UK. Okay. It's a, you know, they producers and they DJs, and they house music but different. And I was telling them the story, and they was just laughing. I was like, yo, you know, I started off doing house music. So once again, you're doing all of these grind, like you're trying to figure it out.
Continue watching this fascinating conversation for free by clicking on the link below to visit our website, learn from the best minds in the world, and connect with a community of passionate people building the best versions of themselves. Just click on the link below, and I'll see you on the inside.